What's up everyone, it's your girl Shay here and I'm back with another video for you guys. And as you can tell by the title, I'm doing my fifth and I believe final review on the manga Cross Manage, which I've been reading on the Viz Media manga app. Now, Cross Manage is basically about a girls lacrosse team and as they venture their way forward into their final tournament and just basically seeing them progress from not being that great of a team to being a pretty good team. So volume 5 takes off where volume 4 basically left off, which was with the girls lacrosse team going against Chowan Academy, which is like an all-around good school and like a really good lacrosse team. So pretty much it leaves off with them in their final tournament and they're just trying to battle their way against Chowan and they're doing a pretty good job about it. They have a whole bunch of different tactics in place about how to score on them or how to block them from scoring, but of course the entire game isn't without any mishaps. So of course the biggest mishap is with Toyoguchi, who is the main character, and she basically hurts her knee, and it's a very big callback to the original, to the beginning of the series where you hear about Sakurai, who also gets hurt playing soccer with his knee, and he's unable to play soccer again. So he doesn't really want that for Toyoguchi. So it's this weird push and pull between him and Toyoguchi, with Toyoguchi wanting to go back out there and play and Sakurai telling her that she shouldn't and that there's always next year. But after being told by a gentleman that I can't remember his name at the moment, but he's pretty much friends with Toyoguchi. He's an older gentleman, and basically he is saying that Toyoguchi won't have another moment like this, since a lot of people that she's playing against are third years and they won't be on the team next year. So she has to give it pretty much everything that she's got. You also have another character by the name of Hayame, who is kind of fighting for Sakurai's affection, but at this point it seems like she's pretty much given up, and she pretty much helps Toyoguchi to tie up her knee, and Toyoguchi goes back out there and she pretty much plays the game. Although I'm not going to reveal what happens at the end, but it was a pretty satisfying ending if I do say so myself. The entire fifth volume is really about someone's love for playing a sport and whether or not that love of playing trumps them being good at it, because Toyoguchi has been said many times throughout the entire series that she's not particularly good at lacrosse, but she just enjoys playing the game. And then you have the other character, which is Namine, who her whole thing is like, why play a game if you're not good at it? Like, you have to be good at it. Who cares about the fun in it? And that was pretty much what the fifth volume was about. And overall you get this overarching feeling of, for me as the reader, questioning myself and how I feel about these statements. And honestly, I feel like if you love playing a game, then who cares about how good you are at it, as long as you enjoy playing it. And Toyoguchi's friend kind of basically felt the same way about this, because he noticed that people who tried super hard to try and get better at a sport over time lost their love of playing the game, because at this point, at least to me, it seems like it's more of a chore to play rather than it just being wholesome fun. But overall, I did enjoy the fifth volume. I thought it had a very satisfying ending, and I thought it had a very satisfying message. Overall, I have to say I did enjoy the series. It's a very quick read. It's only 5 volumes, so it's not a a manga that's going on and on and on with multiple tournaments and so on and so forth. But it does kind of get to the point pretty quickly. I will say though, one of the things that was kind of, I wouldn't say dragged out in the series, but kind of like introduced or was heavily hinted at in the series was romance. So of course a lot of people have thought about the romance between Toyoguchi and also Sakurai, which is of course their coach on the team. He's also the same age as Toyoguchi, or I believe maybe a year older. But it's always hinted at that they both like each other, or at least that Toyoguchi likes Sakurai. And also it gives hint that there might be some sort of love triangle going on, or multiple girls who like Sakurai. You have Hayame, who's introduced at the beginning, and you have Namine that's introduced at the end. And both of them have kind of hinted that they have feelings for Sakurai. And I always bring this up to Toyoguchi, but Toyoguchi kind of feigns not really knowing what they're talking about, and it's never entirely explored. I would say this would be a great, side story. I kind of wish that it was there, but I'm also kind of glad that it's not. I'm glad that this was purely a manga based on a sport and had nothing to do with romance, or didn't really have a lot to do with romance, which is something a lot of people kind of want from a series, but not completely. And I thought this was a satisfying way that they did it. There's just something that was just hinted at, but it wasn't thoroughly explored, which I had a weird feeling about, you know, like I wanted to know more. Like I really wanted Sakurai and Toyoguchi to get together, but I also was kind of glad they didn't explore it, because I enjoyed learning more about lacrosse and trying to see if their school was gonna win against Chowron Academy. But I do recommend people to read this manga. It is definitely a great manga to read, especially if you're someone who's a huge fan of sports mangas or sports animes like Kuroko's Basketball, Slam Dunk, Haikyuu, Prince of Tennis, and so on and so forth. I also say this is a great one to read that's focused on more of a girls team, since most sports animes revolve around a boys team. I thought this was a great, refreshing way to read about or learn more about a sport. And it made me a little bit more interested in lacrosse, although I've never played it and I probably won't play it. It was kind of cool learning the rules of the game, how stuff works, and it was kind of great to read about a sports manga, or read about a manga based off of a sport. They didn't have any like special moves or anything like that. They purely were just trying to play, and it was a great story about a girl that started out being really bad at a sport, has gotten better, and showed her perseverance and her love for the sport, and never lost that faith. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't already. Like I mentioned, I read this on the Viz Media manga app, which is about like $1.99 a month or something along those lines. It's pretty inexpensive, and I definitely recommend checking it out. You can also buy volumes on there if they don't have the chapters available for you just to read right off the app. You can buy volumes separately as well. Volumes are about $6.99. I think I did a review on this before on the entire Viz Media manga app, but I definitely recommend checking it out. I know there's a few people out there that are also currently reading Cross Manage, so of course let me know what you think. And of course, like always, I have my links down below to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. So of course, please check me out on there. And of course, like always, give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to, you can recommend manga that you would like me to read. All right, you guys.